Hi, this is Mike, WB4HUC, and this is the third in a series of videos where I'm going to demonstrate or describe a particular feature in the logic logging software. And this video is going to be about membership lists. The software has the ability to go out to various websites um, and download the membership rosters and plug them into a database in the software. Then when you enter a new log entry, it'll look that call sign up in the membership list and it'll show you all of the organizations that person is a member of that the software tracks. If it's an organization the software doesn't track, then of course it won't show you his membership number. But if it is one of these in this list, then he'll bring up the membership number. And in my case, I've added these fields to my log entry, so it'll plug those in here. So if the person's an SKCC member and it's a CW contact, it'll plug it in here, and same with CW ops. If you're on 6 meters and he's a SMRC member, he'll plug that in here. If you're on 10 meters and he's a 1010 member, he'll plug it in here, and so forth. So as you can see here, over here, there's a lot of memberships or a lot of organizations that this thing tracks memberships for. So let's pick one. Let's do SKCC. And I downloaded the membership roster not too long ago, so hopefully they've added a few more members since then, and we'll see some additions in here after we do this. So the highest member number is 18,298. So the way that you would download a new membership information is go to Internet and then go to SKCC membership list. It says this download and import takes a long time, so let's don't do that one. Let's see if we can find another one real quick that hopefully is likely to have been updated. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do the SKCC anyway, and I'll just pause the video if it seems like it's taking a long time, and then I'll come back uh, after the thing's downloaded. So, but you go to Internet, you would say import SKCC membership list, and then click the download button. And now he's downloading. So when it says it takes a long time, I'm not quite sure how long it takes, but you can see here it's gone to the website, and it looks like it's in a table. Loading HTML table. Please wait a long time. All right, I'm going to pause this, and I'll come back in a few minutes when it looks like this thing is finished. Okay, so it didn't take that long. It's only been a couple of minutes. And you can see it says import complete. Total records 18,384. And our previous high member number was 18,298. New records are 100. So we can close this window now, and so let's go search SKCC. We'll look for our previous high member number 18,298, and here we are, and now you can see we have a whole bunch more in here. So that's pretty much how easy this is. And then, if I were to make enter a log entry for any of these call signs, let's go ahead and do that. So obviously I'll have to delete this out of the log after I've entered it because it's not a real one, but AB8TI. So if we add and we say, well, first thing we need to do is put the radio in CW mode. So let's go to the radio and let's just say, okay, we are in CW mode. So we'll add AB8TI. And lo and behold, he loaded his membership number in the SKCC field. And you can see up here in the memberships list, there he is. And if we enter, and if he was a 1010 member, it would have entered that one here. So let's do one more. I'll do my own call sign. So I'm a 1010 member and an SKCC member. This is a CW contact. So he put in my 1010 number and he put in my SKCC number. So that's kind of how that works. It knows these fields have edits behind them that limit them to... Okay, I'm sorry, I got interrupted during whatever I was saying before I got interrupted. But anyway, that's basically how this works. So just for fun, we'll do one more and then we'll move on. But if we put the radio on 6 meters and make it upper sideband, we're on 6 meters. We'll enter one more. And my SMRC number is 6974. He entered that in, and there you go. Oh, I don't remember. There are edits behind these fields that give them a little bit of smarts. So the SKCC and CW ops numbers would only be entered if it's a CW contact. SMRC number would only be entered if it's 6 meters, and 1010 would only be entered if it's 10 meters. So you can put edits on these fields so that they're only entered under certain conditions, which makes it pretty handy. And these, I use these for reporting. So if I want to go out and make a report of how many SMRC members I've talked to or 1010 members I've walked to, chasing awards and things, that's what this is for. It's basically for reporting on these fields that you're entering in here. For whatever reason, you might need to do that. So what if you can't download the roster from the web page? Then you need to enter the information some other way. So we saw that the SKCC number looked like it was in an HTML table on the website, and it was able to download it and process it. CW Ops is not in here because I don't have any CW Ops members in the table yet. So let's go look at the CW Ops membership roster. So it's on cwops.org roster.html, and it also looks like it's in an HTML table. I have tried to download this the same way and was unsuccessful. It seems to download the data, but it doesn't process it and stick it in the table. So I had to do it some other way. So basically, I just highlighted that field, and I went down to the bottom and highlighted that field and do a right click and say copy, and then go to my editor, and I use UltraEdit, and we'll create a new file, and then I'll paste, and there we have it. But you can see this is sort of, you've got these lines with only a number in them, and then you've got the lines with the other information in it. And all we want is, all I want anyway, is the call sign and the membership number. And I don't want anything from this line, and I don't want any of these other fields. So how do we do that? Well, I wrote a little program that will turn this into a comma separated value file where all I have is the call sign and the membership number. And I won't spend a lot of time on this. Probably not of interest to everybody, but it's a real small program, 41 lines, and a lot of those are comments. But it's in a programming language called Rex, which is pretty much my favorite programming language. It was invented at IBM, and it was included in IBM's VM CMS operating systems, and then later MVS and now ZOS. And it also runs on a PC. It runs on Linux, probably AIX. Um, and there used to be a version for Apple computers. I don't know if there still is today or not. There's an object-oriented version of Rex. So this thing runs almost anywhere you want to run it. There was even a version for the Palm. PDA is under Palm OS. So uh, it's easy to use. I won't go into a lot of detail, but it's pretty much for things like this. It's pretty much my go-to programming language. So here we're just setting some variable names in the program, the input file, the output file, and then to import a CSV file into Logic, the first line has to be the heading names of the columns that you're, or the column names that you're importing in. So I'm importing the call and then the value, which is the membership number. So the first real line of code just checks to see if the input file has any lines in it. If it does not, then we just put out the message that the file is empty and we quit. If it does have lines, we just execute this no op instruction, which means do nothing, and we'll skip down here and we'll delete the output file because we're just going to replace it. We're not going to add to it. We're going to replace the file. So we'll delete it, and then we'll write these field headers right here. We'll write those to the output file. Then we'll go into this little loop, this do end loop. We'll go into this little loop, and we'll the first line of the loop. Again, we'll check to see if there's any lines in the input file, and if there are, we'll read in a line of text, and then we'll let the thing count how many words are in the record. And as we saw, some lines have, and a word is anything that's delimited by space. So this is a word, this is a word, this is a word, and these are words. So anything. So this line, for instance, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words in it. This one has only one word. We don't want these line number or whatever these are. These lines with only the number in them. We don't want those. So that's why we ask the thing how many words there are. So if there's more than one word, then we know we're on an actual data line. So then we go in here and we pick out the second word and put a comma and then the third word. And again, if we go back and look, the second word is the call sign, the third word is the membership number. And that's pretty much true on every line. So we just pull out the second and third words, and then we write those out and put a comma in, write those out to the file. And then we go to the end of the loop, and then we go back up and check to see if there are any more lines to be read. And then once we've read all the lines, this eventually will be 0 and we'll quit. Then we come down here, we close the output file, and we're done. So this is like I said earlier, 41 line program, but really only about 30, 33, 34 lines. So we end up creating this. So we have a comma separated value file with the call sign and value column names, and then the call sign and the value. Now what I did was I made, since this is brand new and I don't want to mess anything up, I made a file with only 3 records in it. And I want to do that one first and see if it works. And if it works, then I'll do the others. So I'm going to close this file. I'm going to close this file. And I'm going to go back up here. And I'm going to say import list. And then I'm going to say, And let's go to the right folder. I'm going to use this small, I should have called it CSV instead of text. But anyway, this file, we're going to open it. The field name is going to be CW ops number. And then we're going to import. A preview window will appear. Please preview the data. So here we have the call sign, the field name, the value, which is the membership number, and here's for the first record, here's for the second record, and if we were to scroll down, we'd see the third record. So that all looks okay. We'll close the preview window. And then do you want to add the imported data to your memberships table? Yes, I do. And then it says done. Please close this form to proceed. And let's look for all right. Let's look for CW number. And there we go. So here are our three, and they may not have been in sorted in member number order in the input file, but they certainly are here. So now we have the call sign and we have the values. So let's go ahead and import the remaining ones. So we're going to say import list. This time we're going to do this one. Now this time, and we'll do a CW ops number again. And this time it says replace existing list or update. Well, we're going to update because this file does not contain these three records in it anymore. So I just copied them out of the original file, put them in that small file, so they don't exist in the big file anymore. So now we're going to say update existing list, update items that already exist, add new items. So let's import. Preview window will appear, same thing. So it looks okay. We'll close this window. Do we want to add and make sure that we say update? Yes, we do. All right, and now we're done. So that only took a few seconds. Please close the form. And now we have, look at that. We have a whole lot of CW ops data in here. And it also shows up here now. This wasn't here before, remember. We looked at this and it wasn't here before. So now it is. So I just added the CW Ops membership roster to my membership list table. So it's the same thing. So let's say I'm going to enter in a sort of a dummy contact for W0VX. So W0VX. And because we're in upper sideband, it added his SMRC number, but did not add his CW ops. So let's go back to the radio. Let's go to CW. And let's do this again. So this is W0VX. W0VX, and enter that one. Okay, now we have his SMRC number because we're on 6 meters. We have his SKCC number and his CW ops number because we're in CW mode. So there you go. So if I wanted to create a report of all the CW ops members I've contacted, or SKCC, or SMRC, or 1010, or whatever else I wanted to put in here, I could do that. You can print out the report of member by state, or member by VUC, by grid square, however you want to do your report. And that's what these are in here for. That's what I use them for. It's not so much to get them in the log, but to do reporting off of these fields. So that's just about it. This is a very handy feature for me. I like it a lot, and I don't know if there are other logging programs that do this or not. I don't know. I've been using Logic for 15 years or more, a long time, and I've just never used any other logging program. So I don't know if there are other software that can do this or not. But you can also go up to here, and for instance, for some reason, if you had the membership number but couldn't recall the call sign that went with it, you can just type in the membership number and search for it, and it will show you if that member number exists in any of these organizations. It'll tell you. So if you were looking for member number 1000 for fists, it's this person. If you were looking for Smirk, it's this person. If it was a county hunter, here, and I guess that's it. So to me, it's just a very handy feature. Or you can look them up by call sign. And there you go. All of the membership numbers or membership information. In the case of LOTW user, it's either Y or N, or maybe it's Y or blank. Anyway, so this video has gone on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I really did want to go through this and just show you how this works, because this is one of my favorite features of this software. I don't have to fool around with going to the membership website to look a person up, or whatever. I get it immediately, I get it right away, and I get it plugged into my log entry. So once again, I hope this is interesting or useful to some of you, and I do thank you for watching.